My name is Leah Escobedo, writer, thinker, critic, co-host at the Time Show. My Knick fandom started as a bridge between myself and my father. We don't have much in common as men, and when I was around 18, 19, I wanted to absorb something that he found passion and love in. So I decided, even though I wasn't a sports person ever in my life, I wanted to start rooting for the Knicks. So I got heavily first into basketball and looked at the field and saw what the Knicks were in the East Conference Finals. And I was like, yeah, I think I might have decided to root for New York, because my dad grew up in New York and was a teenager during the 70 and 73 chip. So I was like, this is a great time for me to become a Knicks fan. Little did I know that that would become the start of a James Dolan purgatory, and I would become a fan right as we cratered out into 20 years of nihilism and poverty. My number one favorite Knicks moment is 2012, first round against the Miami Heat. And I believe it was game 4 to stave off elimination, and Melo dropped over 40. And my dad and I drove around before the game started for about 15 or 20 minutes in South Dallas to try to find a restaurant that had a TV that we could watch it on. Now, it's hard to find a restaurant here in Dallas that has the NBA package, but we found one deep in the heart of Oak Cliff. And we huddled around this very small TV they brought in from the kitchen and happened to have NBA.com and the NBA package because the chefs were watching it. And so me and my dad ate enchiladas and drank Modelo's and watched the game. And as the Knicks won that game, that was the very first playoff win I'd ever seen in my life. And my dad put his arm around me and I was crying uncontrollably. And he looked me in the eye and said, this one was for you. And that was a moment that crystallized that I wanted to see a championship for me and my dad to be able to galvanize around and have something meaningful that him and I started from the trenches and won and fought through and earned it together. My favorite player without question is Carmelo Anthony. Loved the swagger, loved how he was an underdog, loved all the criticism. I relate a lot to the hubris that he showed and kind of choosing the financial stability over a chip. All those flaws I think could be directed at Carmelo. I absorbed too, because as someone who came from nothing, I never wanted to let go of opportunities to survive on my own. So I empathize with him in that regard, as well as being half Hispanic. He's half Puerto Rican, I'm half Mexican, so I relate in that capacity as well. And he had this unshakable swagger, but I always deeply respected, and I think that I embody in my own way, never to be shaken by detractors or critics, and to always stay true to myself. Plus, 3 of a dome, baby. Chip or bust, man. This is it. I've been saying championship every year since Jalen Brunson arrived in New York, but I really feel like with the injuries in the East to Indiana and Boston, it is a pretty open pathway to the finals. And as long as we have Jalen Brunson on our team, we have a chance to win this chip. And I think this is the year for us to do it.